This is a Classless crafting skill tree that will allow any character to forge their very own weapons and armor, enchant them with runes, and concoct wacky potions to make you feel like a true witcher. We're going to break down this entire skill tree, how to use it, and what each of these mysterious nodes unlock. I've been playing D&D for almost 15 years, and the collection of 3 Classless skill trees that I've built for you is the culmination of everything I have learned on this journey, with the crafting skill tree now completing that trilogy of Classless progression, with the other skill trees covering combat and roleplay, and you can find links to both of those in the description. But why crafting as this final piece of the puzzle? Well, because Skyrim, God of War, The Witcher, Cyberpunk, Dragon Age, Zelda, Fallout, Monster Hunter, Elden Ring, World freaking Warcraft. Every single one of these incredible games has a crafting system, but why? For what? And why is the world obsessed with crafting mechanics? Is it some secret ingredient that makes games good? Well, yeah. Crafting cool gear from materials you've collected on your adventuring journey allows you to fully customize your hero both inside and out. And we crave that sense of control, that ability to fully express who we are and how we play the game. What you craft contributes to that sense of achievement and progression, and it makes the journey feel more personal, with each item crafted further defining who you are. Media has just become this massive mashup of Fortnite-like universes and crafting Minecrafty systems that can be found in almost every single game now, because we crave that choice and variety, and kitbashing and kitchen sink gameplay is amazing. It's an amazing way to play D&D. So check out also Stephanie Plays Games and MysticArts for more on those topics. But obviously they're not sponsoring me in any way, but they are creating some brilliant content that I think needs to be shared. But in a nutshell, to summarize their videos, we want to wear a Wiggler helmet while wearing diamond armor and wielding a Buster Blade from Final Fantasy. That's the dream, guys. That's dope as heck. I think I've added enough bingo words here to my introduction. Comment below any trending tags that you think I missed. But in all seriousness, you don't need me to tell you why adding crafting to your game is cool. You clicked on this video. I'm just here to hype you up and get you ready for what is the Classless crafting skill tree and the final capstone on my mission, on my quest to add Classless progression to D&D. Now, I talk about the skill tree and how it works in all of these videos here, but for anyone new to the skill tree, let's break it down very quickly. You begin your leveling journey right here in the cooking node. Usually it's the center of every skill tree, and you start branching your way out from there. Every time you level up, you will earn a collection of level points that you can spend across each of the 3 skill trees that I've designed. For the crafting skill tree, you'll only be getting one of these unique level points, which we will call an artisan point, or AP for short, each time you level up. And you can spend this AP on any node connecting back to a node you have previously purchased. So right out the gate, you'll be able to decide if you want to specialize in alchemy, runecraft, spell scrolls, smithing, or tool making. Alternatively, you can choose to progress in the cooking node, which is at the center, and all adventurers need to know the basics of cooking. So starting at level 1, you are no exception. Every single character will know how to cook up beast and plant type creatures into a meal for both themselves and the party. And if you want to see a more in-depth breakdown on my rules on cooking monsters in D&D, go check out this video right up here. Just as a heads up, there's going to be a lot of video recommendations here. I've made a lot of videos and stuff in the build up to this one, so feel free to save this, add it to your watch later so you can easily find it after coming back from each video recommendation. But yeah, just thought I'd let you know. But going back to this cooking cooking node. Every time you purchase from it, you'll learn up to 3 new recipes, 3 new creature types that you can cook up into meals. And similarly, the alchemy, runecrafting, and smithing nodes work almost identically. You spend artificer points in any of them, and then you learn how to craft more potions, learn how to make more runes, or weapons and armor using materials from 2 creature types of your choice. And then obviously further purchases from each of these nodes will grant you 2 more additional creature types that you learn how to utilize and craft into new gear. And I've developed rules for each of these unique crafting methods, which you can find links for down in the description. But they all work on a core mechanic of harvesting materials from creatures you've slain and using those monster parts to craft a new item. Or in the case of rune crafting, enchanting one. The power then of each item that you create is usually based on the CR level of the creature you took materials from, so the stronger the monster, the stronger the materials gained. As for the tools and spell scroll nodes, I see these more as like subcategories, offshoots of each node either side of them. So the tool and gadgetry branch is the culmination of the scientific study taken from alchemy combined with the ingenuity practiced in the smithing node. The spell scroll branch requires an understanding of the arcane learned through Runecraft, combined with the alchemical practices found in alchemy. Now, these nodes don't require you to branch out into their predecessors, but they are a fun in-game roleplay reason to branch out and expand and evolve your own craft. And if you're enjoying this video so far and you think I'm cool as heck, give it a little like, share it around, and if, only if you want to see more videos from me, subscribe. But only cool people get to do that, so if you have no interest in seeing more videos from me, don't subscribe, don't even click it, because it just doesn't make any sense. And if the aesthetics of this gadgetry branch are tickling your fancy, then how about flying skyships? Or what about an entire floating city? Mad Max inspired vehicles driven around a Dune inspired world. If you like the sound of that, then you might want to check out this video's sponsor, Homie and the Dude. They are a very wholesome father and son led publishing team who have created all of these wonderful products like the Wandering Tavern, which is a Ghibli inspired skyship extravaganza and one of their most successful Kickstarters yet, with Scorched Basin soon to follow. Scorched Basin is then going to be this epic Dune meets Mad Max mashup adventure filled with mystery, magic, and machines. It's going to be a system agnostic TTRPG setting, meaning its very own magic system and crazy biomes can easily be adapted to any of your favorite TTRPG settings. The link to that upcoming Kickstarter can be found in the description below so you can get notified on its release, but also check out any of the other stuff made by Homie and the Dude using the second link just below that one if you want to get a taste for what's to come, like the previously mentioned Wandering Tavern, which is a beautiful Ghibli inspired setting on a colossus skyship filled with corruption and political intrigue. This product has so many battle maps, flying vehicles, and even cooking recipes. So if this interests you or you like the look of anything over at Homie and the Dude, pop in my code Goblin25 to get 25% off any purchase you make over there. Go treat yourself, you deserve it. Now, returning to the skill tree, I could have left it there as just a progression of learning how to utilize different materials, but I wanted more. I wanted it to be more crunchy. I wanted you to really feel like you were perfecting a craft and specializing in something. I wanted that feeling of pushing your skills to the limits, specializing in very specific niches. Smithing does this through allowing you to focus on armor, weapons, and ammo craft, alter the damage type of ammunition you make, remove negative hindrances from heavy and medium armors, and bolster light armor. Or choose to add or remove unique weapon properties to weapons that you make. Give greatswords the versatile feature so they can be wielded in one hand, or the thrown properties so you can easily hurl your great axe at foes. But then this branch goes a step further with the armor and weapon specialist nodes. Choose a specific type of armor like breastplate or studded leathers, or a certain weapon to master like long swords or great clubs, and now you can add one additional refined material to any equipment you've chosen to specialize in. Because typically you're limited to the amount of refined materials you can add to each item crafted, but the Masterpiece node, once and once only, lets you add up to 2 additional refined materials to a weapon or piece of armor, and if you combine that with one of your specialities, you're now adding up to 3 additional new features to that piece of equipment. What kind of masterpiece would you make? What kind of weapon or piece of armor or piece of ammunition would you make? I'd love to know in the description below. What would you make? And if you had the coin, what runes would you enchant it with? The runesmithing branch lets you ramp up all of those creations to a whole other level by infusing them with magical properties. And if you want an even more in-depth look into how rune crafting works, check out my other video right up here. But now with this skill tree, you can do some wild stuff with runes. You can lay down rune traps like in Skyrim to cause massive explosive damage to anyone who triggers them. Economic script also lets you craft runes more cheaply, and quick craft lets you create instant temporary runes that only last in short bursts of time. But that's not all. We've also got magical tattoos, so you can now start applying runes directly onto another creature. And this is so cool. I'm so excited for this one. And I want to see what kind of wild ideas you come up with. What runes would you infuse into your barbarian or the cleric? I want to know, let me know. All the other nodes here then just let you ramp up each of these previous abilities to new heights. And we're only getting started. Alchemy was already fun as is, but now you can specialize in throwable damage dealing potions with the grenades node, allowing your concoctions to push past damage immunities and resistances. The self-inoculation rewards experimenting on yourself by granting your potion additional properties if you were the one to consume it. Medicinal properties teaches you a brand new potion recipe for every single creature type, and they're typically some sort of healing or ointment, something that helps people out. And then crowd control grants your concoctions a splash effect, so now you can get that sweet Baldur's Gate 3 bonus when you toss a potion between your allies or your enemies. And then Potent Potion lets your concoctions last way longer or hold additional ingredients. And if you enjoy creating consumables, then you're going to really like Spell Scrolls, because similar to runes, they're expensive, but they can let you create items that will allow any player in your party to cast spells that you know, regardless of their affinity with the arcane. Now you can dish out Spell Scrolls of Haste to your fighter and barbarian, sit back and enjoy the destruction caused. Now there are 2 really cool nodes here. One is Quick Graffiti and the other is Careful Inscription. Quick Graffiti allows you to cast ritual spells super quickly, and the other one lets you add additional uses to your spell scrolls. Both are super powerful and super unique in different ways, super busted as well, but both very, very fun to use. Personally, the idea of casting ritual spells with graffiti is just, it's such a cool visual to me. And this node in particular was actually inspired. It's a bit of a shout out to one of my best friends who I played a 7-year-long campaign with. His character inspired this node. And then we have what is probably my favorite branch here. So the Gadgeteering branch starts off pretty simple, allowing you to build whatever tools you need for whatever job you like. But it gets more and more interesting the more you invest in it, starting with the Gadget node, which gives you a collection of little inventions that you can build using general good items found in the player's handbook. So would you like to build a grappling hook like Batman, or how about a jetpack? Well, you can build all of these. The grappling hook can be made with a block and tackle and some rope, and all you need is an hour to put all these inventions together. If you want a jetpack, no problem. Just bash together a bullseye lantern, fill it with some alchemist fire, and off you go. There are so many actually handy gadgets here. I find with the artificer class, the small little gadgets that you make in it are they're mid. They're nothing crazy. These are actually quite useful, and I think you'll actually get some nice use out of them. And on top of that, it also gives some real uses to some of these other more mundane objects in the game of D&D that you might otherwise look over and never use. Now, this node is definitely gonna scratch the itch of very specific players, and I hope there's also enough inventions here to hopefully inspire some of your own. We then have turrets, which are very simple. All you do is you take any crossbow and you can turn it into an auto-locking firing machine. It's fantastic. And then you can take all of these inventions and apply them to an automaton. These little guys can be equipped with any turrets or gadgets that you create. So now, yes, you can have a little companion who flies around in a jetpack and has machine guns for hands. And then last but not least, I've added a very simple node for prosthetics. So the biggest issue with prosthetics in most fictional media is that once a character gets a new limb, it often functions identically, if not even better than their previous limb. Media takes this opportunity to have them enhance the character's life rather than face the brutal truth that life is never the same when you lose a limb. And so after much research on the topic, I wanted to reflect that in some way. And so because of that, these limbs take time to adjust to. They require about a week of practice before you can treat it as an additional limb, but you'll never be able to add your proficiency bonus to any attack rolls and skill checks that you make using this limb. And some of you may be thinking, oh, that sucks, why would I ever pick this node? And that's just fine. I just wanted to add a fair depiction from my albeit limited knowledge of what it's actually like to lose a limb. But you know, who's gonna stop you adding a crossbow to the arm, you know what I'm saying? Turn the jetpack into a flamethrower, now we're cooking. So there you have it, folks. The Classless skill tree is finally complete, and for you beautiful people, it's absolutely free. Links to everything you should need are down in the description, and thank you as always for watching. And if you want to use this skill tree or any of my other stuff in your games, share the videos around with your DMs, share with your players, share with your DMs. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, and if you want to see more fun, wacky homebrews, more skill trees from me, subscribe. And then one last thing before I go, from the bottom of my heart, I just want to thank each and every one of my incredible patrons who support me on my journey as a content creator. You allow me to do what I do, and I adore creating content for you all, a lot of which I haven't even shared on this channel. We've made Demon Slayer skill trees, sanity mechanics, and I'm currently working on a skill tree. It's actually finished now, so this script that I'm reading from is wrong, but we've made a skill tree on monstrous mutations, and I'm also working on a Hades-inspired roguelike adventure using these Classless skill tree mechanics. So check that out if that interests you. I love you all my patrons. Goodbye!